Why are we so terrified of AI? This is a question that I've been thinking about for almost 2 years now. And I've, as a public speaker, spoken to thousands of people about this question. And what I've found out is quite interesting. And that is that the people who are the most afraid are the people who know the least. Now, this is contrary to what you've probably seen in online forums, where we see a lot of people and experts and researchers say that AI will most likely kill us all and take our jobs. Everyone from Max Tegmark to Niklas Boström to researchers like Ilya Sutskever and so on. This is quite interesting because if we kind of pick apart the argument of AI and the risks with AI and the true risks with AI, we can see that we're actually creating a larger problem that it should be. And also the second part, which I think is the most important part, is that if we focus too much on the fear, then we might actually create the problem that we are trying to avoid. So the argument is as followed, and I'm trying to steel man this argument. Now, what do I mean by steel man? Well, it's the opposite to creating a straw man. A straw man is a way of trying to win a debate, right? So if you were to vote more socialist and I would be more of a capitalist, for example, then a straw man would be that I would tell you as a socialist that you love communism and communism has never worked. But that's not really what you're saying, right? As a socialist, that's kind of most likely not your viewpoint. But what I'm doing is I'm taking your opinions, I'm drawing them to their extreme, and then I'm pointing at that extreme and saying that you are wrong, right? So this is a debate technique to try to win an argument. A steel man is doing the opposite. What I'm trying to do is really try to understand the argument in themselves and trying to actually distill the value which is there, because most arguments have real value. Now, what is the steel man of the AI doomsday scenario? Well, there is a risk with AI that it will continue to develop in an exponential trend. It will continue to become more and more intelligent, and at a certain point, it will become intelligent enough to actually start acting in ways that we might not want it to act.
I did not know that.
Imagine a dog, for example, looking at a human with a dog's intelligence. The dog might not actually know all of the reasons why the person is doing what they're doing, even though the person in themselves might be trying to help the dog by hurting it, giving it a vaccine, for example, or taking it to the vet and relocating its arm or whatever. From the dog's perspective, the human is actually hurting the dog. The dog doesn't know that this might be the best thing for them, right? And this is kind of the perspective of a human having good intentions, right? The human doing something good for the dog, even though the dog would perceive it as something bad, right? So the thought process of an AI becoming super intelligent could be that the superintelligence would be doing things to humanity which might not be, from our perspective, something that we would want or something that is good. But from the AI's superintelligence perspective, that might be something that is actually good for us. Or if we have what is called misaligned AI, which means that AI does not want the best thing for us, then the AI would actually possibly be able to hurt humanity or even destroy us if it wanted to, right? So the way that this comes to fruition, how AI becomes kind of this super intelligence, could happen in different ways. There's something called a fast takeoff, which is that AI develops recursively, which makes an AI that is able to improve itself will improve itself so rapidly that the AI recursively improves itself, which leads to it increasing its IQ by double within minutes or hours.
Oh. Ooh, nice. Nice. They did a great job.
In this case, this is kind of called a hard takeoff. It could happen, right? And all of the risks that kind of these AI researchers are talking about could happen. And that is absolutely the kind of Steelman version of this, that these risks are real, right? But we need to kind of talk about risk and how risks are categorized. So there's a famous researcher and an AI expert that has been making analogies and similarities between the movie Don't Look Up, where there is a meteorite that is heading towards Earth with 100% certainty that it will actually hit Earth and annihilate us all. This researcher makes the kind of metaphor that this meteor that is going towards Earth is the same thing as AI, right? A one-to-one comparison between those two, which is a complete and utter false equivalency, right? These two things are not the same thing, right? A meteorite hitting a planet has happened millions and millions of times previously. It's happened on Earth, it's happened on pretty much every single planet in the universe. Meteorites hit planets, right? AI becoming super intelligent and then also destroying humanity has never happened before. It is not a certain risk over time. It is something that we do not even know is possible. There might be certain thresholds of intelligence that we don't know about yet. There might be limits to what this type of technology could do. There might be 5 or 10 or hundreds of kind of research leaps that we need to do before we get to a kind of super intelligence. And that might happen in 2, 3, 4 years. I concede that that is something that could happen, but it is just as possible that it will take 30 years, 50 years, or 100 years. We do not know, and therefore it would be irresponsible to act as if we know. So how do we deal with this type of risk? Well, this is a complex problem to solve. It is an unpredictable problem to solve. I am very happy that there is a lot of research going towards making sure that meteorites do not hit Earth, right? There are thousands of people working on this problem. And just as well, I'm very glad that there are researchers and a lot of money going towards minimizing the risks with AI and developing it in a secure way. That is something that we should continue to do and is a responsible thing to do, right? But I categorize the kind of AI doomerism in the same category as meteorites. I really don't think about it that much, right? I'm very glad that there is a lot of money going from my tax money towards hindering that a meteorite hits Earth. And I am just as glad that there is a lot of research going towards making sure that AI is also safe. For you and me, as civilians, as people who have jobs and lives, where we live our everyday trying to get by, where we have a bunch of problems which AI could help us with. It could help us with social planning for our dinners with our friends. It can help us with software issues that we have on our computers. It can help you as a general assistant in your day-to-day life. For us, the most important part of this revolution is to actually try to create and use the value that is available to us today. There are thousands of user cases for you and me to use in our day-to-day life where we can actually have a better future together thanks to AI. And this is also something that is supported by research. When you look into how you, in a complex, dynamic environment where there are unpredictable events occurring, how do you strategically manage in that type of environment? The best strategy for managing that environment is what is called the Frozen 2 strategy. And it is taken from the movie Frozen 2. This is something that is taken from the Kinevin framework and Dave Snowden's research. And what the Frozen 2 strategy is the following. Do the next right thing. Don't look too far ahead. It's too much for you to take. So break it down to this next step. This next choice is one that I can make. Do the next right thing. That is a valid strategy for dealing with AI.
And I'll tell you what, it is pretty sensational.
For you and me, who are not developing large language models, we need to focus on creating the value that is available and using that value to create a better future. That's the video today. I hope that kind of helped you think about the arguments that are being forwarded by these people, and also to kind of focus on the possibilities instead of the risks, right? That is the main thing that we need to think about, is that the risks in themselves are there. They are a lot smaller than what people are making them out to be. And for you and me, even thinking about these risks are completely unnecessary and do not create any value for us. What we need to do is kind of focus on the opportunities instead of the risks. So thank you. I hope that you had a good time here. Let's keep the conversation going. And what do you think about the AI risk? Do you think that we are focusing too much on the risks, or do you think that it's kind of a valid thing to always be discussing? Should we always be focusing on the risks all of the way towards superintelligence? Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.